gelato, tacos. Gelato, tacos. One after the other, Morgan. One after the other.
We were once inseparable. We were closer than two of a kind.
Good morning, everybody. I survived the night, and we drank that entire bottle of schnapps. It's actually about 10 o'clock this morning, and I went to bed around midnight last night after the night of schnapps and music and dancing. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then watch yesterday's video and stick around until the end. And it's been a very relaxing morning so far. It was kind of loud this morning. I'm on the third deck, and above me is the top deck. You can't really call it the pool deck. There is no pool. There's a little hot tub, but you can't call it a pool deck. And it sounded like somebody directly above me was putting together some gigantic IKEA cabinet. And I met some of my table mates upstairs this morning and was telling them that, and the people who were sitting next to them said they heard the same thing, but their cabin is in a totally different place, so no idea what that is. Yeah, but I've been sitting here for a while, just kind of watching the world go by, and I got the window open. I don't know if you can hear sort of the water splashing against the side of the ship, but it's been really relaxing. And we're on our way to Budapest, and in Budapest, I will be going to this big famous thermal bath, the Szechenyi bath or bad. Have you noticed how often now I mix up the languages? Thermal bath called Szechenyi. And I'm gonna do my best to show you what that whole experience is like. And because we have a little bit of time before I get there, I'm gonna do the cabin tour now. So make sure you look for that. I don't know, it might be online already. It's usually one of the videos I put up sort of towards the beginning because they're relatively easy to edit together. And I know how interested people are. Yeah, and by the time I'm done with that, then it'll probably be time to leave the ship. We're supposed to arrive around 12:30, and then it's time for Budapest. Budapest is actually the fusion of two cities, Buda and Pest. And I know I BS a lot on this channel, but that's really true. There's something for just about every interest in this impressive looking location, including world-renowned architecture, museums, castles, palaces, an amazing bar and restaurant scene, and several mineral baths, some of them dating back to Roman times. Not too long ago, I saw a documentary about the Szechenyi Baths, and I knew that is what I wanted to see on my first day here. I walked from the ship to Metro Line number 1 and took the train right to the park. I made it. Behind those doors, hold on. Behind those doors is probably one of the most beautiful public swimming pools in the world. I mean, imagine you're going to swimming lessons and it's here. The main entrance to the swimming part of the baths is across from a big circus tent. For around $19, you can get a day pass, which includes a locker. Check out the lobby of this place. Doesn't it look more like a fancy hotel or a Broadway theater than a swimming pool? Once you've paid, you get a wristband, which you'll need to scan to enter the main part of the building and also open and close a locker. The lockers seem kind of flimsy, but I saw several security guards patrolling the area watching for suspicious activity. Or maybe they were just watching people change, I don't know. If you want to spend a little more, you can also get an entire changing cabin with a lock, and if you don't want any of that, you can just change outside and put your valuables in one of the mini lockers too. By the way, flip-flops or water shoes are a must, and if you want to do any sporty swimming in the long lap pool, you'll have to wear a bathing cap too. So here's some sweeping panorama views of all the beautiful outdoor swimming areas. Look at this.
so pretty here.
In the building on the other side of the entrance building, you'll find saunas downstairs and other kinds of warm baths and steam rooms upstairs. It's all mixed and everyone has their suits on, which is very different to these kinds of mineral baths in other European cities, just so you know. If you go to some place like this in Germany, everybody is naked. By the way, for an extra price, you can also visit the all-you-can-drink beer spa. One more thing, they also offer pretty reasonably priced massages, but the massage rooms looked surprisingly clinical in comparison to the luxury of the rest of the facility. But still, I had a really great massage. When you're done bathing in the naturally warm spring waters, they even provide plastic bags for your wetsuits and towels. And to exit, you simply need to drop your wristband into the turnstile and it should turn green, and then you're on your way. I'm back down in the middle of the city. I took the U-Bahn here, the metro. A little bit of a flyaway here. And I'm going to find some tacos. What else would you be trying to find in Budapest? Gelato, tacos. Gelato, tacos. One after the other, Morgan. One after the other. Well, that place is full, so let's find another one. Excuse me, do you have any recommendations? He's thinking, I guess. And when you're walking around Budapest, look up. The tops of some of these buildings are so cool. That building definitely used to be a theater. Do you know who I am? I'm the late night cocktail cam. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And actually, the last thing you saw was a cocktail. I found this really cool tiki bar. Very incredibly themed, completely unexpected. And one thing that I also did not expect about Budapest is that it's a foodie city. There were so many amazing looking restaurants and cool little and big bars. Unfortunately, the place that I went for dinner was not one of them. I wanted to go to the first place that I showed you, where I was like, gelato, tacos, because it's like a really popular pop-up location. They only have outside seating. It's in an empty lot. I know that sounds like one of those, it sounds like Stefan from SNL, Bill Hader, the Weekend Update, where he's like, Budapest's hottest taco restaurant is built on an empty lot between two vacant buildings. But it basically was. The woman seating said that, nope, we are not taking any more tables tonight. Sorry. So then I walked to another Mexican restaurant that was listed in my Maps app, and then it wasn't a Mexican restaurant. The Maps app said it was, but it was just a cocktail bar. They had no food. And, well, they had snacks, but it wasn't like a Mexican restaurant. Then I walked to another Mexican restaurant, and it was like a takeaway place, so like quick service. And I really wanted to sit down and, have like a full restaurant experience. So I walked way back, like in the other direction, to another place, and that was the place I ended up going to. Friendly service, but the food was really only okay. And I ordered a drink that it was like was called the Old Smoky, I think, and it was a mix of mezcal and bourbon, and then also orange bitters. But the bartender put so much bitters in the drink that it was basically like drinking bitters, and I didn't even finish it. That's how bad it was. Ugh. And I wanted to ask you, let's say you're in this situation where you're like, all right, this is the restaurant I want to go to, and then you take the time to find it and go there, and then for whatever reason you can't eat there, like happened to me. Do you then just go to the next best restaurant, or would you have done what I did and hunted all over until you found another Mexican restaurant that was similar to the one that you originally planned to go to? I know some people would have been just like, all right, well then let's find something else, and then walked around the corner and found another nice restaurant and be like, okay, let's go here. And sometimes I'm like that too, but I don't know, for some reason tonight I was like, I
want to have Mexican food.
And I would have been much better off just going to any other restaurant than the one I went to. It wasn't horrible, it just was not impressive by any means whatsoever. Also, in the Mexican restaurant that I went to, I was eating at the bar because it was also really crowded. I mean, it's Friday night and it was just crowded. The city was hopping. And I was sitting at the bar, and two things. One, there were a group of 3 or 4 people having drinks around me who I guess were just having a drink waiting for their table to get ready or something. And there was enough space for them to stand either quite a bit further in this direction or quite a bit further in that direction. And for whatever reason, they were huddled around me. I felt like I was like a silent part of their conversation, of their party. And it got to the point that I wanted to be like, do you all want me to move over so you can sit down here? Because one of them even had his foot up on my, like on the foot part of my stool. It was so odd. I don't understand that. And the other thing about that bar, and this has nothing to do with the bar, the restaurant and bar itself, is there was a man, I assume it's the father of, like, she could not have been 3 years old. Like, she was barely formulating full sentences. Sitting at the bar, having like chicken wings and nachos with his little girl. And I thought it was cute when I first got there. But then when, the girl, we're talking like a little girl, a toddler, sitting at the bar on a bar stool, not in any kind of, child seat or whatever, could have very easily fallen down, and she was very jumpy, and she had her nachos and dad had his chicken wings or whatever. And then when they were finished eating, then dad ordered another beer, and this poor little girl was so bored. And also it was 8:30. It was definitely past the bedtime for like a 2.5, 3-year-old girl. And yeah, the dad was getting frustrated because she was getting, ornery. But I was like, dude, take her home and put her to bed. It's 8:30 and you're in a bar. Some people. And I think that pretty much catches you up on my day. So that's going to be the end of this day's video. Tomorrow I have my first excursion with the cruise line where we're going to see, what is it again? The horses in Puszta. And some kind of horse show. I don't know exactly. You're going to have to come back tomorrow or in the next video to find out what it is, because
I don't know for sure.
But it starts at 8 a.m. So I have to get up probably by about 6:30. So time to sleep. Good night. An advertisement for Disney's newest film, Shungultura.